welcome to the season 3 of the Touch a Cell show. My name is Deborah Ono, and today we're very excited to start the show with you. This is 2022, and there's a whole lot we're going to talk about. It's a new season. There are different events. There are different dramas we're going to listen to. And today we'll be listening to the adventure of Baba Shukura. Listen, I'll be right back.
Welcome. This na Baba Shukura radio drama.
Oh no, yes, you dey swear to say you dey cut meat last month.
Aliwo all na for this night party o for Aba. So yeah, so you know say Pastor dey come there.
That's what they come.
Yes na.
Àwọn ọmọ Mushin and Chita go plenty with that now. And those ones they like fight pass takurumo alone.
Wo wọn bí aláya wọn dà.
Abiola, wetin happen now? Wetin be that?
Kabiru. See that girl kaka. Ayé mi, tèmi bá mi.
Na fine girl you come see like that, come dey shout. But you don't make me fear now. Baba, you don't go no, I swear.
Hey, guy, package, eh? She don't dey come. Alagbo. Mabo, come. What's Wobi?
Uncle, good morning, yo.
Good morning.
Enjoy some me. Thank you. Which one do I want, Uncle?
No problem, Uncle. Just give me Jedi and Okpayin. Yes, you get kick and start.
He did.
Okay, good. We are mix them with Apako.
Really? Work yourself this night, Abby.
Second Uncle. Which one make I give you now?
I don't be second Uncle. My name is Kabiru.
Penny, shut up, Joe.
Wow,
Auntie was just let's see your name, Jari.
My name is
Mama Shukura.
I not be Mama Shukura. I never marry and I never born.
No mind that idiot, Joe. Oh yeah. See, it too dey jump. I beg, tell me your name, Jari.
My name na Shade Animashaw.
Oh no, Animashaw. Because they get for a lasso, Lord. This is where you carry for your back, lasso. You can't fit to shout.
Uncle, leave me, Joe.
I don't leave you.
I want to go.
I beg, leave that one. See, make I no lie you. Say now your love, now me I want. Yeah. See as I did here, as I did see you so I just want to marry you. I see your love.
Marry. Yeah. Oh, Uncle, say thank you. I no do. Please help me carry my lopu for my head. Una money na 250 naira. Who they pay?
Yeah, take your money.
Thank you, Uncle.
Kabiru, Ọlọ́run, I must marry this girl.
Àwọn agbádùn ara wa eré wà èmi kọ́ kó wá ní Pasuma àjùbọ́n lóbi jẹ́ pé ìjọ ìjọba.
Ọmọ náà sí o, Pásíkò ṣá ọmọ ní Fátíkò sit down.
Kabiru, look, who are the CISO?
Ọmọ, Nalago, just this gift.
Her name na Shade Animashaw.
Yes, I do not make her look like say she be Indian babe. Oh, what is it?
Shut up, she dey come. Shade, Alpha.
Hello, una dey here?
We dey here. You do fine, I swear.
Yeah.
You just said like Mami what?
Baba Elero, thank you.
Shade, please marry me now. I too love you all long. You too package. No make me born my first child. I go call her name Shukura. Who make she fight like her mama, like you?
I no trust money, because na so una mouth go dey sweet when una wan chop something, but when una don chop the something, una go just tapa.
Shade, make Shango and Ogun and Obatala make dem do meeting, strike my great grandpapa for grave. I tell you, see, you no know, see, since I see you, I no fit think straight again. You too make sense, die alone. Adalago.
Okay, I go think am. But I busy o.
Don't worry, our patience.
Yeah.
This boys they don't start their wildlife. They don't start. Shadi. Ha.
Mr. Doctor, my name now Abiola Anifuwoshe.
Okay, all right. So, who is the lady to you?
My wife.
She did very, very lucky that you brought her here on time because she don't lose plenty blood. Them lacerate her for her aorta and she for don't die.
Ogun no go gree make she die, I swear. Person wey I just toast wey she never even say yes finish.
But I thought you said she's your wife.
Person wey you toast no be your wife ni. She don dey show me sign say she go gree for me. I wan marry her proper new. No be like wetin I do to Khadija. This one na love wey I love her die. I fit do anything for her.
Well, that is good. I mean, love is a good thing. Have you given a sample of your blood?
Yes, that nurse don come collect my blood. Is say.
Doctor, here's the result for the blood test.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Nurse Amaka, I told you to do a phenotype test. Why do I have a genotype result in my hands?
Doctor, I'm very sorry, sir.
These government health center staff will never concentrate on their job. I'm going to recommend for some of them to be relocated because I don't think I can work with this set of mediocre staff.
Doctor, abeg no vex. Wetin dey happen with Shadina?
Don't worry, mister.
Just call me Baba Shukura.
Do you have a daughter?
I go get daughter. Her name go be Shukura. Now she go born am.
Okay. All right, Baba Shukura. Look, your girlfriend is in a stable condition, all right? We just need to transfuse some blood because she don't lose plenty blood. That's why we say make you give a sample of your own blood. Make we check whether it go rhyme with our own blood.
E no rhyme?
Don't mind the nurse. No be waiting I send am she go do. But this test where she do sef, it don't show something wey give me concern. You see, you be AS and your girlfriend sef na AS.
She no be my girlfriend, doctor. Na my yawa no, my finances.
Oh, all right, Baba Shukura. My apologies. You and your fiancé una no fit marry each other.
You be God. Why you go dey talk that kind thing? Just because you be small doctor.
Baba Shukura, I no be God. But God don't give us small sense to understand some things. You see, something dey your gene where they are own, we no fit each other. If man get blood we be AS and woman self get the same kind blood, it no go make sense make them marry you because you see una fit get pikin we go give una wahala.
Doctor, that one are your own. No? Even if my blood na BQ and her own na QS, nothing fit stop me from to marry Shade. See, doctor, what I go just tell you be say, give me medicine or injection or anything, make it comot the what you call her now. So,
Baba Shukura, this one no be medicine matter because you see the thing dey your blood. Now as God make you.
Okay, all this on our Oloyibo thing wey on dey take deceive us. Me I no need them. Baba Tao my herbalist go help me clear all these things wey dey our blood comot, and then we go dey normal.
Baba Shukura, there is no cure yet for this thing.
For you now, omode omo go pele for. Na where your own reach you fit talk. I trust my Baba. You see in juju go fit comot anything. Your own na to just make her better for now. Leave the rest for me.
Look, I strongly advise.
Shade go dey all right. Doctor, abi no go dey.
All right.
Doctor, that wetin I want with that. Shey you go discharge her today.
Once the test for grouping and cross-matching comes back, so that you can donate to her, then we're good. We will transfuse and she should be fully here to
We've just just listened to the adventure of Baba Shukura, and today we have a special guest in the house. Her name is Dr. Rebecca Solomon. She's a medical doctor and also a sickle cell advocate. She is passionate about the equality of life of sickle cell patients. Dr. Rebecca is involved on coping mechanism of caregivers of sickle cell patients and how it affects the health and quality of life of the child. Hi, Dr. Rebecca. It's good to have you here today. Welcome to Touch a Cell Show, the first edition for the year.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Okay, so our first question for the day will be, there's this confusion about what is genotype and sometimes what is phenotype. So can you, in a layman language, explain to us what it means and the differences?
Okay, so genotype is, the collection of genes of a person. Genotype is just telling you the type of genes that you have in your body. And genes are basically like the build-up of, the building blocks of human beings. I mean, if you are looking at like what formed or what's created, I know we usually normally say, oh, God is the one that created us and everything, but that thing that God started using to create us, those things are called genes. And genotype is basically showing the type of the gene that the person has. So phenotype is, what we can see. Phenotype is basically what we can see, and it's the observable features of what we can see. That's what phenotype is. And phenotype is from the genes. It's from genotype that you get phenotype. So yeah.
So is there a particular, do they have like some sort of particular relationship?
Yes, they do. So without a genotype, you can't get a phenotype. A phenotype is basically what you can see. You can't get a phenotype. So genotype, like I said, is the building blocks of the individual, is basically a collection of the genes. And from those genes, they are what constitutes our unique characteristics. They are what show, my genes are what make me look the way I look. My genes are the things. Yes, make me who I am. So the things, the behaviors, the things I'm doing are the things that they call phenotype. Phenotype is what you can observe from the gene. The way I'm talking, I'm okay. If you see me and you see my mom, you see that, oh, these people are related, or I look like my mom. So basically, phenotype is what you can observe. They are the observable features, from the genotype itself. So that's basically what phenotype is to like the layman.
Okay, that's a good. I think most people right now might have understood what it is, the difference between genotype and phenotype. So my next question will be, why do you think it's important for people to know their phenotype?
Okay, so you mean genotype, right?
Genotype, yes,
Okay,
sorry, genotype.
Yes, all right, no problem. All right, so basically, like I said, genotype is, a collection of genes in the body. So there are different genotypes. There's genotype for the eyes, there's genotype for the, face, there's genotype for the hands, there's genotype for all parts of the body. So now we're, liking it now to genotype for the blood. And which part of the blood? For the hemoglobin in the red cells. Basically, that's where the sickle cell comes from. The disease sickle cell comes from, and everything.
Yes.
It's from the genotype of the red blood cells, where you have an abnormal genotype of the red blood cells. So when I think that people should know their genotype is immediately after birth. It is so important to know the genotype of the child. And once you know the genotype of that child, as the person moves along and everything with all the life experiences and the environmental factors would now determine, how that person will live, whether that person has sickle cell or not. So it is so important, for us to that's why we've been advocating newborn screening. It's so important for us to know the genotype of a child. Yeah.
All right, thank you. What's the impact when it comes to forming a relationship?
Okay, so for genotypes, there are so for genotypes there are various, genotypes. So the genotype can show you different variants. So there are different variants of the hemoglobin. We have the A, the S, the C, the beta thalassemia. That's where you have I'm AA, or I'm AS, or people that have sickle cell, I'm SS, I'm SC, I have S beta thalassemia. So the impact of knowing your genotype is, I always tell people that from the first dates, because I have sickle cell, I always tell people from the first dates, please, what's your genotype? Because this is what I have. I will tell you straight up. It is so important because it goes a long way to determine, the relationship you have. It goes a long way to determine the offsprings you have, the children. I mean, you have number of children you decide to have and everything. And, it goes a long way in the family dynamics. We all know the social implication of, having a child with a chronic illness like sickle cell, especially one where, person will have to go to the hospital over and over again. It will affect their financial implication. There's family dynamics where sometimes you might have a spouse that is not as dedicated. The person said I do during the wedding day and problem has come and the person has run away, or it's just affects. So it is so important. It is so important for us to get to know. That's why I'm saying right from childbirth. I didn't know my genotype till I was 7 years and everything. So right from childbirth, it is so important for us to know the genotype. Oh my God, it is so important.
Okay, thank you for that. We'll quickly go on a short break. We'll be back, and when we're back, we'll continue our conversation with our amazing Dr. Rebecca Solomon.
They say a child born with sickle cell can live beyond the age of 21. They say sickle cell is a death sentence. They say they can't hold a job or run a successful business, that they can't live a healthy, productive life. They say. But is this true? Join Tony and the gang on the Touch a Seal show.
Welcome back from that short break, and this is still Touch a Cell show, season 3. Welcome, and hi, Dr. Rebecca. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
So I'm going to ask you a little more questions before I let you go for today. How can someone know their genotype?
Okay, so there are various tests that we have to know the genotype. There's, the hemoglobin, that's the hemoglobin electrophoresis. There's the HPLCA. It's by going to the hospital to say, okay, doctor, I want to know if I'm AA or AS, I have various laboratories in, the country. A lot of people advocate for not bringing in, children with sickle cell. People say, oh, you bring in somebody with this condition that has chronic pain, you're bringing another human being, to live a life of pain and a life of suffering and we don't want that. So, prevention is better than cure, and this is primary prevention. So it's just better for you to know your genotype early on. And I mean, there's so many issues, in the country with, standardization of lab tests, because I know that there are people that say, oh, they are AA, and it turns out that they are AS, and then they get married to someone that's AS, and the first child, comes out having sickle cell, being SS. So, and I've seen this over and over again. I mean, that's even one of the reasons why, I'm in this world, because my mom did the genotype for my dad. I mean, early on, because she was very, she did biochemistry, so she already knew and everything. And then they said my father is AA, and, Oh, that makes so dear. When they did my genotype, after I fell ill, they were so confused. That when they checked back, for my dad's genotype, it showed that, like there was a mistake in the labs, and also, they are very if there are few labs that I usually recommend to people. So yeah.
Yes. Right. What the issues of false result? How can it be avoided?
Okay, so how it can be avoided is,
Yes.
government policies being put in place. See, my dear, there's so much that, we as individuals and we as bodies can do to educate people. We need to educate people that, okay, this thing actually happens. And, okay, so in Lagos State now, there's some training going on sickle cell and, management of people that have sickle cell for healthcare workers and everything. And we have posters in the hospitals where we say, you need to know your genotypes, but we need to also tell these people that, okay, when you do this test, there's a possibility or a probability that this test is going to be wrong, because some reagents might have been expired. There's no proper, care for the reagents, where you have electricity, like poor electricity supply, where they will take the lights and everything. I mean, I can tell you how many hours I have electricity what's it called, in my facility and everything. And then we have the issue of, no fuel and everything. It's so terrible. So I mean, so we need to tell people and make them know that, what, this thing can fail, it can be wrong and everything. Because even the tests themselves, the test is not 100% really. Because some people that have the disease, to show that, no, it's not there and everything. So the type of test that the person does, for the person to know that, okay, this thing that you're doing, it might be that it will show something wrong. And then the person that is handling the test reagent and that is even doing the test and everything, the person might misread it, so training of medical workers, and then government policies to be put in place. Because I mean, people, they just bring forth different labs. You see that, there are so many labs on the streets, or maybe one street, because there are so many people and everything, and it's not always standardized. It's not always standardized, and people will even prefer to go to the lab and say, I want to go to the doctor first. Say, no, this man is already a doctor enough. So I mean, so it's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, those are some of the implications.
For me, I think sometimes it's better to be sure, or to be on a safer side. It's better to carry out the test more than once, so if there's any issues, you get. Because sometimes you can't be so certain of some things. When today you hear, okay, I'm AA, tomorrow you come back and you hear I'm AS. It's confusing. Some people be like, okay, what's going on? If really you don't know how to, some people don't know how to hold back emotions. So when you tell them, they'll be in this place of, okay, what am I going to do? Who should I talk to? And in cases like that, it is always advisable to carry out more than one test to be on a safer side.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rebecca, for having you. We're glad that you started the show with us, and really appreciate you. Thank you for your time. So,
thank you for bringing me here. I'm honored.
Yeah. Can we get like a word of advice for people out there who are having issues going to the right places to carry out the genotype? Because I know a lot of people who still doesn't know the genotype. They still feel, okay, maybe it's not just time yet. Let me just hold on till maybe when I want to get married or probably have kids before going for a genotype test. What would you like to say to people like that?
Okay, so what I would like to say is that it's better to be safe than sorry. I would advise that please go to the hospital to tell the doctor, please, I'd like to check my genotype. And please try as much as possible to check it in at least 2 to 3 places, in different locations. Please, and do not look at, this thing is too expensive, or The test is actually very affordable, but some people might be like, oh, this is pretty expensive, I can't do it now. It is better to be safe than sorry, so that you can, prevent heartbreaks in the future and everything, like, so that you can prevent, heartbreaks and issues in the future, and you limit the number of people that will come and meet you in case you have a particular genotype, so yeah. So
for me, one of the things that motivated me, that made me carry on my genotype test, was sometime in 2013. There was this outreach Sammy was having, and they were going to do like a genotype test. It will come like in an ID card form, so you have it. So when people ask you don't need to like start scratching your head. I'll be like,
your head.
So you just bring out your ID card and you put them. Like, that was pretty good for me. It was really an exciting thing for me. I think that was one of the reasons that made me carry on my test, and it's been pretty good since then. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Rebecca. It's good to see you again.
Thank you. Good to see you too, Deborah. Thank you.
Have a lovely evening and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
And you too.
All right, stay tuned for the sickle cell community news. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Sickle Cell Community News. My name is Adiola Joseph. On the news today, Lancet Nigerian Commission launches reports, urges federal government to provide health insurance coverage for 83 million poor Nigerians. SAMI hosts teens and children living with sickle cell in arts in medicine fellowship projects. The news in full. The federal government of Nigeria has been urged to prioritize the provision of health insurance for its poorest citizens. This recommendation was made by a group of experts who participated in the Lancet Nigerian Commission report, which studied health inequality and examined health outcomes in the country between 1998 and 2019. The landmark report, which was made in a 2-year period, identified that out-of-pocket finance represents the predominant health expenditure of Nigerians. It also recommended, among other things, that giving Nigerians' young population prevention should be at the heart of health policy. This requires a whole-of-government approach and community engagement. The Lancet is one of the world's oldest weekly medical journal publishing original research articles, review articles, editorials, book review, correspondence, news, features, and even case reports. As part of our effort to ensure that warriors live healthy, positive, and productive lives, Sickle Cell Advocacy and Management Initiative SAMI on Saturday, 19th March 2022, engaged 20 teens and children living with sickle cell in art projects. They were guided on how to provide their individual creativity in poetry, journaling, origami, and neurographic art to find comfort, relief, therapy, and well-being. Tagged Becoming You. The project is aimed at helping the children see art as a tool for self-acceptance, thus making effort to provide the real self despite challenges. It is the project work of Lagos Football Fellowship. The fellows had earlier took the same initiative to slum children of footprints of David in the Bariga Artists of Lagos. This concludes Sickle Cell Community News for today. Kindly join us next week for a fresh package.
Today we spoke about knowing your genotype. What should you do? What are the first steps you should take? And I'm sure that Dr. Rebecca has explained vividly on what to do. Please ensure you carry out your genotype test. Convince your parents, convince your partner. Parent, I will encourage you, and I will also urge you to carry out genotype test for your kids. Thank you and stay tuned. This is Touch a Cell Show with Tony and the gang. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, and we're back on Twitter. It's at SAMIUPDATE. On YouTube, it's SAMIUPDATE TV. On Facebook, it's SAMIUPDATE. Thank you and see you next week. Have a lovely evening.